Kahumanu had a problem. According to traditional law, when a chief died, his lands were redistributed among a number of high chiefs. But neither Kahumanu nor Liho wanted to lose any part of the islands they now controlled.
They said, why should we give up what we earned through battle? So in order not to do this, you had to completely destroy the foundation upon which everything was built. And that's exactly what they did.
Kahumanu destroyed the foundation of Hawaiian law by breaking its most secret kapu, the prohibition against men and women eating together. The embers in King Kamehameha's funeral oven were barely cool when Kahumanu commanded Liho to a feast.
She just beckoned him, and he came.
So she wanted to show her power. You come, king, O king of all the tribes of the great land of Hawaii Iwiloa. O king, come here. She probably had sex with him. She probably said, come here and give me what I need. She was at that point where like, I've succeeded, I've done the impossible. Kingdom is mine.
And that was it. He came and sat with her and took a morsel of food from her hand.
And this is the famous picture. You see, look how young and innocent the Kamehameha II looks at this time. He didn't know what he was being thrusted into. From a great 60-year-old chief king who did all the dirty deeds and killed thousands of people to get what he had, and made agreements with the strongest of the strongest people to build his nation, and destroyed the ones that were strong that opposed him, to this little kid ruling this nation being bombarded by outside nations. She said, you know, I got this. But she didn't know that she was being fooled too. She was being the instrument to her own demise. But we get fooled all the time. We get fooled all the time.
So that was just that one occasion, forever etched in history. You're talking about 2,000 years of law. This is a long time to adhere to a set of rules. And then all of a sudden, overnight, someone says, you know, now we can eat together. Now we can live together. Now there is no Kapu.
Kahumanu then ordered all the religious images burned and the temples destroyed.
So you can imagine if everybody went into all the churches in your neighborhood, broke up the churches, broke up the images, knocked down all the crosses, you know, and said God no longer exists. This is exactly what happened to the Hawaiians.
But there was resistance. The new king's cousin, Kekuo Kalani, raised an army in revolt against the end of Kapu. Fighting by Kekuo Kalani's side was his wife, Manono.
The wives would join their husbands in a last-ditch effort to fight. Because if they didn't do that, they became spoils for the new king. So if a woman loved her husband, he'd rather die with him in battle than to be a slave or married to somebody that she didn't love.
The king's forces and the rebels met at the Battle of Kwamo.
So this is the battle right here. This is the last priest. This is the last priest order, and they were the priests of Kamehameha who Kamehameha trusted more than Queen Kalmana, trusted more than his son. He gave them the priest's power and the rights to overthrow his son. And she said, I gotta take out all the people my husband will put in place to secure this nation. So I'm gonna take out the priest who's gonna hold the Kapu system And what happened when the Kapu system was gone? Now the fish is not protected. Now the plants and vegetables is not protected. Now the resources is not protected. The sandalwood is not protected. Now your wife and your family is not protected anymore. Now your land is not protected. Now you're not protected because the Kapu system is gone. So that's what they did by killing them. Then they killed the chiefs, the generals, the top generals. Just like if today we were to overthrow a country, we wouldn't just kill the president. We would kill all the generals that are aligned with him and instate new generals that we could manipulate. And then we would install a new president or a new king. So this is what she did.
Those were no match for the king's army outfitted with Western firearms. Kekuaukalani was shot dead by...
Now they're outfitted. Look at the marking on the gun. You gotta understand, they wouldn't just do this, just to do this. This never crossed her mind. What happened was she got the confidence. They said, we got you. We're gonna outfit you. We're gonna give you all the backing you need, whatever soldiers training you need. We can help you take over the country.
Aliolio's forces, who then turned on his wife, Manono, and shot her in the head.
So they executed the priest and his wives, and the wives didn't want to sit on the side, because when you killed them, then the wives were spoils of war, and you could have them as wives or slaves, just like in the Bible. This is all pre-colonization, pre-colonial ways, and they trying to tell you that these people are different. Even some of these videos are not as accurate as they should be, but we all have been lied to.
The ancient religion went out in a blaze of musket fire.
After they killed Kekuaukalani, they decimated everyone in his entourage.
Well, the bodies are left there, covered in stone. And today, if you go to Kuamo'o, you can walk there right through a little rocky trail that leads through these piles of stones that are all about you. Each of them contain the defenders of the ancient ways.
By destroying the old religion and quashing any rebellion, Hawaii now had a single royal family determined by hereditary birthright. Liholiho, who called himself King Kamehameha II, was nominally in charge, but the real power was with his father's favorite wife, Queen Ka'ahumanu, who had instigated a revolution by destroying the old ways.
Next, it would be an invasion without muskets and gunpowder. Hawaii is transformed by Bibles, sermons, and men of God. We'll be back with more.
Old religion and quashing any rebellion, Hawaii now had a single royal family determined by hereditary birthright. Liholiho, who called himself King Kamehameha II, was nominally in charge, but the real power was with his father's favorite wife, Queen.
Alright, so what they do? Where are we at? 4127.
Can live together. Now there is no Kapu.
Ka'ahumanu then ordered all the religious images burned and the temples destroyed.
So you can imagine if everybody went into...
Can live together.
So the temples were destroyed because the missionaries wanted to make sure that there was no evidence. See, when you build pyramids and temples, you use different masonry styles or building styles, and what happens is that even the mathematics you use, even the alignments you make, all of these things are like fingerprints that line you up all over the world to other people that had the same train of thought, that are related. So they can say, we can't have these, who they called us niggas. They say can't have these. They call them Hawaiians, but they sure look like niggas to me. That's the freaking song they used to sing, the white people. You gotta understand, man. They messed us all up.
Now there is no Kapu.
Now we don't have the pyramid. See what they do? They show this pyramid. You wanna understand? You wanna know something? This pyramid or this temple mound was built after the death of Kamehameha, after the destruction of the Kapu system. Right, exactly. Or during the ending of his life. So this is not the ancient temples. They destroyed the ancient temples. And they gave you this shit to worship. Worship many gods on. Here, let me show you something, how the construction looked at the ancient temples. Let me show you what some of the stonework was like. You see the stonework? You see the stonework? What does that look like to